Guys, it's Pac-Man Trolls here with another Magic the Gathering deck tech. This deck tech is going to be an update on my Izzet deck. I've made lots of changes since I made the previous deck tech, and it's definitely Izzet burn aggro, kinda. It's more based on Izzet burn than anything. So it is Izzet burn and Izzet counter. Not so much counter as it is burn. You can like burn them to win the game. It's so powerful and it's a dick move to win, but whatever. So for our lands, we have the Temple of Epiphany. It's the Scry land of Izzet. It's the enters battlefield tapped, and when it enters battlefield, scry one, tap one red, and it's a one red and blue, or blue mana. So yeah, that's the Scry land for the deck. There's one. We have a Izzet Guild Gate as well. Enters the battlefield tapped, adds a red or blue mana to your pool. So the Guild Gate we have 10 of the regular basic land islands, and we have 10 of the regular basic land mountains. So, again, just the basic land setup, pretty simple. 22, pretty set. Trust me, you should have no problem with land. Now, for the creatures, I have updated. I have pretty good amount of speed. For these, we have two Cloudfan Raptors. They're one blue, and they have flying and evolve, and they're a 0/1. But whenever a creature enters the battlefield that is bigger than them, they get a +1/+1 in toughness or power. If they're bigger in toughness or power, they get a +1/+1. So these cards are freaking phenomenal, in my opinion. You can get them out in turn 1, get them out as early as possible, and as soon as bigger creatures enter the battlefield, these guys get pretty big. So they're pretty good. We have 3 of the Blister Coil Weirds. Now, these are great for this deck because the deck is mainly based on non-creature spells, instants, and sorceries and stuff. So 1 red or blue mana, and you get to cast, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets a +1/+1 and untaps. So it becomes a 2/2 that has vigilance, basically. This card is phenomenal for this deck. I love it. We have only 1 of these at the moment, but I plan on getting more. I'll probably make a third update whenever I get better cards. Probably won't be many cards. Let's just say there's going to be 4 of these, and the sideboard might change a little, depending on what you guys want to do. So anyway, Young Pyromancers. These are 1 red and 1 colorless, and whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery spell, you put a 1/1 red elemental token onto the field, and it's a 2/1. I only have 1 of those right now, but it is phenomenal. We have a playset, and this is definitely staying in the deck because this is just helpful again for this deck in all ways possible. A playset of the Goblin Electromancers. They are 1 red, 1 blue, and instant spells and sorcery spells cost 1 less colorless mana to cast, and it's a 2/2. So again, that card is just phenomenal because your instants and sorceries are your big winner for the deck. We have 2 of the Spellheart Chamaras. These are great cards. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless. They have flying and trample, and whenever their power is equal to the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. So it is a whatever 3, and it has its power as the instants and sorceries, which, again, main part of the deck, and the thing that'll be boosting up your creatures. For our next 3 cards, we have 3 of the Gutter Snipes. These are given for the deck. It's an Izzet burn, you need Gutter Snipe. 1 red, 2 colorless. Whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent, and it's a 2/2. So if you have 3 of these bad boys out, you're dealing 6 damage by casting an instant or sorcery. Added on with the burn of the instant and the sorcery, you're dealing a load of damage. Especially with a Lava Axe, you're dealing 11 damage to somebody's face. And then for our last creature card of the deck, the number 1 big card of creatures in this deck is Kuranos, God of Storms. 1 red, 1 blue, 3 colorless. It's indestructible. As long as the devotion to blue and red is less than 7, it's not a creature. You reveal the first card you draw on each turn. If it's a land, you get to draw a card. If it is a non-land, you get to deal 3 damage to a creature or a player, and it is a 6/5. That card is great. You get to look up, and if it's a land, you get to draw another card, play the land, and have that card. Then you get to reveal, if it's not a land card, you get to burn for 3. Now, our next big portion of the deck will be the instants. These are, again, the main majority of the deck is going to be on burn. So you have to have the shock, It's a phenomenal card. 1 red, you have 2 damage to deal to a creature or a player. Great for removing cards in the beginning of the game, or just making them burn for 2, or more if you have your gutter snipes out. For the counter spell, we have a little negate. 1 blue, 1 colorless, you get to counter our target non-creature spell. Not bad. For our other cards, we have for return cards, we have some Voyage's Ends. These are good to just kind of get cards out of your way. 1 blue, 1 colorless, you get to return that creature to its owner's hand, and also scry. So it's some good for like scrying and also getting cards out of your way. Again, more cards to get out of the way is burn, but still. So now we have a playset of course, Lightning Strikes. You need them. 1 red, 1 colorless. You deal 3 damage to a target creature or a player, so you get to deal more than what Shock does by 1, but still. Another counter spell will be Cancel. 2 blue, 1 colorless. You get to counter any spell. We have a Steam Augury. This is a very good card. 1 red, 1 blue, and 2 colorless. You get to reveal the top 5, separate them into 2 piles, and opponent chooses the pile. Put that pile into your hand and the other in your graveyard. Now, if you have instants and stuff, as you know, that can feed with your Spellheart Chamara. And also, we have other stuff that helps out in a way. Also, we have for our last instant in the deck is Firemans Foresight. This is a very good card. I like it. 1 red, 1 blue, 5 colorless, so it's a beefy mana cost, but you get to search your library for 3 cards. One with a mana cost of 3. You get to search your library for an instant card with a mana cost of 3, put it in your hand, then repeat the process for an instant card with a mana cost of 2, and an instant card with a mana cost of 1, and shuffle. So you get to get 3 instants out of your deck. For our next set of cards, it will be, of course, the sorceries. Sorceries are very good as well. We have a Breaking Point. This card is just phenomenal. 2 red, 1 colorless. You get to have it either deal 6 damage to somebody's face, or destroy all creatures on the battlefield that can't be regenerated for 3 mana. We get a Mystical Retrieval. I plan on getting maybe 1 more of these. 1 blue, 3 colorless. You get to return an instant or a sorcery from your graveyard to your hand, and you have a flashback cost of 1 red and 2 colorless. So again, those cards are great because you get to fetch for your instants or sorceries. You need, for Izzet burn, you need the playset of Lava Axes. 1 red, 4 colorless, you deal 5 damage to a person's face, or to a Planeswalker's face. Either way, these are needed. Then you have some draw power with Jace's Ingenuity. 2 blue, 3 colorless, you get to draw 3 cards. So it's not bad, you get some draw power. And for our last card in the main board of the deck, we need this because it's actually just a very, very good one. Planeswalkers, Ralzeric. 1 red, 1 blue, 2 colorless. You get to +1, tap a target permanent, and then untap another target permanent. You get -2 to deal 30 damage to a creature or a player, so you get some burn. And -7, this card's amazing. Flip 5 coins, take an extra turn after this one for each one that comes up heads. And that's just awesome. You get to take more turns and burn more. Anyway, so that's the main board. That's the main deck right here. So that is 60 card deck. It's very good. I love it the way it is, but if you need that little extra help, you got your sideboard here. Very good as well. For our creatures in the sideboard, we have a Sigiled Starfish. It's just good to kind of help with defense in the beginning in a way, and it's got some scry power to it. So 1 blue, 1 colorless. You scry 1 if you tap it, and it's a 0/3. So some good defense, kind of to help you out. A Nivix Gill Midget, 1 red and 1 blue. You got 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless. You get to draw a card, then discard a card. You have 1 red, 1 blue, and 2 colorless. You can copy a target instant or sorcery spell you control and choose new targets, and it's a 2/2. So that's a pretty good card to have. Now, we have only 1 card for like game life, and that's the Staff of the Mind Magus. Just in case you're fighting somebody who's really dealing damage to your health, you can switch out round 2 for this. So 3 colorless, you get that whenever you cast a blue or an island enters the battlefield, you get to gain a life. So whenever you cast a blue spell or an island enters the battlefield, you gain a life. Now, for our sorceries in the deck, we have only 1 for our sideboard. We have 1, and it's Blast of Genius. This card is great. It's beefy, but it's great. 1 red, 1 blue, 4 colorless. You choose a target creature or a player. You draw 3 cards, discard a card, and it deals damage equal to the card's mana cost to the player or the creature. So that's freaking great. I love this card. It's great for an Izzet burn, and it's beefy, but it's it's good. You get draw power and you get burn power. It's phenomenal. We have an extra negate in the sideboard, so 1 blue, 1 colorless, counter target non-creature. Just like I said earlier. We have some more counter in our sideboard with nullifies, 2 blue, you get to counter target creature or aura spell. 2 of those. An Izzet charm, so that's of course, a good card to have. 1 red, 1 blue, you get to choose one of these abilities. You get to either counter or target non-creature spell unless the controller pays 2 colorless. Izzet charm deals 2 damage to a creature, or draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. So you draw 2 and then discard 2. So draw power and kind of getting rid of some other stuff. This card's pretty decent for Dragon Shift. This card's great, in my opinion. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Till the end of the turn, target creature you control becomes a 4/4 blue and red dragon and it loses all abilities and gains flying. And then you can overload it to have all of your creatures become a 4/4 blue dragon with flying. So you can just bomb them with flyers if they don't have flying. An older card is Rewind. I think it's awesome because you basically just have a free counter spell. 2 blue, 2 colorless, counter target spell, and untap up to 4 lands, and it's 4 mana. So you basically just go counter, and you get rid of it. And you don't even have to tap your land. You can just no. Another thing for our instance is Punish the Enemy. This is a good card. 1 red, 4 colorless. You deal 3 damage to a player and 3 damage to a creature. This card is phenomenal and really helps if you need that shuffle and that burn. Beacon of Destruction. 2 red, 3 colorless. Deals 5 damage to the creature or the player and shuffle it back into your deck. It never goes away. It's always in your deck. You always can shuffle it. Unless, of course, they counter it. They counter the spell, then it goes to your graveyard. But other than that, Beacon of Destruction will always be there, and it will always help you with the shuffle of your deck if you really want to get other cards out. Another thing, for instance, is Burn Away. These are great. 1 red, 4 colorless, deals 6 damage to a creature, and when the creature dies, exile the creature all cards from its controller's graveyard. So it's burning and swiping your graveyard, so there's no return at all. And then our last card in our sideboard is Dig Through Time. This is a very good card. 2 blue, 6 colorless. You get to look at the top 7 cards of your deck, put 2 of them in your hand, and the rest on the bottom in any order. So you basically get to dig through your top cards and just be like, okay, that's good. I'll take that. Anyway, that was my red-blue deck and how it's been updated. I think this deck is going to run much better. I haven't played it since I've added in Keranos and Valzeric, but those are the only 2 cards that I haven't played it with, and I already know Keranos and Valzeric are going to be great for the deck because I played it without those, and it's good. It's a great deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I loved it. I love this deck. It's probably one of my favorite decks of mine. But Izzet Burn, it's pretty fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And thank you for watching. And go ahead and like and subscribe if you want. If not, that's cool too. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope you guys all have a good day. And talk to you later. Bye.